I must apologise, it's been quite a while since my last video because of some changes at work, etc. My shift patterns have changed and unfortunately I don't get the time to get into the shop that I'd like. However, I've got a project that I plan to do today using the Pippy that Alan Simpson kindly sent to me. There's a big fault in this piece of wood I'm going to use, and I thought, well, I won't be able to use it to make a box with it because it's got wonderful markings, superb markings, and there's no way that I'm going to waste the wood, obviously. So what I've done is dug out most of the loose wood, and I will attempt to make the box as I would normally, and just be obviously very careful when I'm working around the inclusion, because that should actually end up in a hole. So in a way it'll be a bit like one of Carl's eccentric turnings. There'll be a hole in it. Okay, we can see what the problem is, and you can see it's a rather deep inclusion. This might not work. What I'm hoping to do is to keep all that figure and hollow out inside, have the lid here. As you can see, the markings are wonderful, so it's a great shame to waste something as beautiful as that. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll see you when I've got kitted up. Okay, what I've done, I've put a tenon on one end, and that's in the medium gripper jaws. I'm going to put another tenon on this end for the lid, then we'll see how it progresses from there.
I know I'm just taking off the lid with a thin parting tool, and now just defining the box innards. I'm using a 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Start to hollow out. Very easy wood to work with. Lovely fine ribbons coming off. A joy to work. Now I'm using a square end scraper just to define the size of the box and the mortise, and now using a small bowl scraper just to tidy up the inside, measuring the depth to make sure that we don't go through the bottom, which I do have a habit of doing. And now sanding up through the grits up to 600. Hand sanding the inclusion, rubbing any dust off and marking the position of the blank relative to the jaws, so when I put it back on it will be running square, running true. Now putting the lid on and starting to form the tenon. And using a diamond parting tool for this operation. Just checking the fit of the lid, it's good enough. Again, using a thin parting tool, defining the width of the tenon so I can hollow out the inside of the lid. Again, using a 1/2 inch spindle gouge. Small bowl scraper again, smooth the inside. Hand sanding the inclusion, going up through the grits. I decided to try and use the drill for the power sanding. That worked very well actually. Removing any dust.
What I'm going to do, I've sanded up the inside, and I'm going to treat it as I normally would, with the cellulose sanding sealer and cellulose thinners mix, and then 2 coats of that, allow it to dry between each coat, and then apply 2 coats of wax after rubbing down in between each coat, obviously with 600 grit paper. I shan't use wire wool in this instance because of the inclusion, and then that will be the inside finish. So apply the second coat of wax now, again very lightly, keep working it around so that you get a nice even coating. And we just let that dry for a minute and then give it a final buff. Okay, so that's had 5-10 minutes to dry now, and we'll just give that a final buffing. And that's the inside finished, and it certainly is a beautiful bit of markings there. Superb. Quick word to Alan, absolutely superb, Alan. I'm amazed how gorgeous this is, really am. Okay, we'll carry on. Sand it down now to 400 on the inside, and just to keep checking that everything fits okay, and it's looking pretty good. With the coat of sanding sealer mix, here we are again to give it the final buffing, and then that'll be the inside of the lid and the inside of the box finished. Okay, and there it is finished, the inside done, and I think it's taken that finish very well. Do is to insert a finial in the lid. I made a load of finials a while ago. I had a bit of a thing about finials, so and that's the one I'm intending to use. So I'm going to now use my Jacobs trap. Through 600, and now comes the time when I put on the 2 coats of the sanding sealer and cellulose thinners mix, and then 2 coats of wax. So I have to be a bit careful, obviously, because with the sanding sealer, because that can go inside, so I've got to be very careful how I put that on there. And then I'll come back when I'm just buffing up the last coat of wax, and then I will also put the finial in, and that'll be secured in there with a little bit of CA glue, and then give it a final buffing. And here we are, it's finished. I've put the last coat of wax on. It takes a lovely finish, it's lovely and smooth. The inclusion is a great bit of character, and the lid fits nicely. The colours here are fantastic. You've got pinks and dark browns going into the darkness of the inclusion. So all in all, it's a nice piece. Not so much down to what I've done, but the natural beauty of the wood itself. it is, finished. Grain lines up really nicely, and thanks very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers now.